What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from March 25th, 2020, where we tend to give you AEW Dynamite results. And they're in Jacksonville, Florida. Your commentators was very complicated to follow, because here's why. First of all, it started off with Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and Tony Schiavone. I meant to say. Sorry about that. There was no Jim Ross, no Excalibur, no Taz either. I don't know if he was still there, part backstage, whatever. But of what I've seen so far, it was only Tony Schiavone, Kenny Omega, and Cody Rhodes until Cody Rhodes had a match, and then Kenny Omega and Tony Schiavone was on commentary. And then after that was over, Kenny Omega was getting for his match later on, and it ended up being Cody Rhodes and Tony Schiavone instead. And there was no other commentators being there, where it pertains to Taz. And again, no Excalibur. It's one of these difficult times where it pertains to the whole coronavirus situation, where and also there was some more things too that where it pertains to this as well, because the limit to appear on the show were at least up to 10 people. Basically, what tends to, being part of the show in a way. So yeah, it was unfortunate. There was no best friends with Orange Cassidy. There was no Lucha Brothers. There was no women's that much in not that I recall. But I remember that there was no women's matches on the show. But you have some women's there. I'll get to them later. It was difficult for this show. It wasn't the same. Obviously, because there's no crowds, and they couldn't have the rosters to be playing fans in the crowd in the sections anymore, because they're laying it down basically what pertains to this whole situation. It took away for thing they did, the previous one that they did, when it was all thought out and very creative, and it worked out very well. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it for this week, for this episode particularly, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, folks. And the world has turned upside down with since the whole coronavirus. So, but let's move on. Let's get to this. Brandy Rose was doing ring announcing again, because no Justin Roberts. But we see despite we couldn't have anyone coming out in the sections like they did previously, they should show a few that were in the back, like for example Sean Spears. He was betting, and you also the Gunn Club, which is Billy and Austin Gunn, excuse me, the father and son. You also seen, well, she wasn't there yet, but I'll get to her later too. But anyways, it was basically those guys, and then a few others started coming in, and I'll get to that later, because the opening match was Cody versus Jimmy Havoc. Yes, Jimmy Havoc, who you've seen on AEW Dark, now appears on AEW Dynamite for this occasion. So while Cody versus Jimmy Havoc was happening, Kenny Omega and Tony Schiavone were commentating on here, and I thought Kenny Omega sounded cool and chill on commentary. And then pertains to seeing Cody versus Jimmy Havoc wrestling. Sean Spears betting on Jimmy Havoc to win, while the Guns are betting on Cody. And then Chris Jericho was rooting for Jimmy Havoc to take care of Cody. Because how Chris Jericho hates Cody and everything because of their rivalries in the feud in a way. Match itself between Cody and Jimmy Havoc didn't gel well, didn't match well, but I still pay attention to what was worth. In the end, it was Cody Rhodes getting the win with not one but two crossroads on Jimmy Havoc, and that was it. And after the match, Brandy and Cody starts, they win a big one, and then all of a sudden, we see a fire, basically on the Titantron. Look like someone was camping, and basically in the dark, and it ends up being Jake the Snake Roberts. So I guess Jake Roberts was in there either, along with Lance Archer. But Jake Roberts cut a promo saying about Archer is chopping at the bit to get into the ring with someone, and says that Cody help get the company going, and Roberts says that he is the best in the mind in wrestling. So, and it also says that he doesn't get a call when it pertains to basically come to AEW by Cody. And the same thing goes with Lance Archer, where he was in Japan, and AEW was afraid, to bring someone like him with his intensity to come to AEW, and continues to say that he was asking for Lance Archer to get one match for Cody, and then she mentions Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes at one point, and then basically it tells Cody it's up to Cody, and then he ends up by saying, "Trust me." I love it. Jake Roberts, bring back, obviously with Jake Roberts being a good talker, still to this day a good talker, but by delivering his promos very well, very very calculated in a way, and he brings back that catchphrase that he used in his final run in WWF at the time, when Undertaker beat him in his last match until he was gone. From his final heel run, where it tends to with the whole thing with Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, and then with the Undertaker. Jake Roberts brought that catchphrase back. He always used called "Trust Me," and I loved it. So at this point, Kenny Omega was gone for commentary, and Cody ends up rejoining on commentary, and all night it was just Cody Rhodes and Tony Schiavone. It gave me good vibes and good memories too, where it tends to Tony Schiavone and Dusty Rhodes commentating at one point back in the days of WCW, called WCW Saturday Night, and that's the vibe I got from watching Cody, who is the son of Dusty Rhodes, as he commentated along with Tony Schiavone. That's the type of vibe it gave me, and it drove very well, obviously. But he announced that he's not going to ignore his message this time and all that, and says that he wants Lance Archer to be in the match on the next AEW Dynamite show. And he says also he knows how talented he is because he's been to New Japan, and he's seen how good he is. Even in person, he knows how good he is and everything. So he's not denying anything but pertains to his talent and all that. And now he's going to show everyone in American soil that Lance Archer is a big deal, and he's very talented, and people are going to see have a glimpse of Lance Archer, and I can't wait. Who he's going to face has already been mentioned, but can't wait to see it. Darby Allin, the Enigma Darby Allin. He basically says that he doesn't see anything in Superbad because the only people that are Superbad are the Inner Circle, and he's wearing these different masks of the Inner Circles: Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho. I think he had one also pertains to Kip Sabian, because he was wearing it. I think he was wearing it in the beginning of this video package, because Darby Allin is going to be wrestling against Kip Sabian. Which, speaking of which, basically, in the whole promo here, Darby Allin, he still wants to focus on going after the Inner Circle. So, and also he had a gas mask. He lit the table on fire, which is the Damascus of the Inner Circle. So yeah, he want blood, and he wants the Inner Circle's blood. But now let's get to Darby Allin versus Kip Sabian being accompanied by Penelope Ford. Match itself was decent. Penelope Ford got involved at one point against to Darby Allin or so in a few numerous occasions, but in the end, it was Darby Allin getting the win with the Gibson lock, the Gibson leg lock, which it was a pin combination in a way, and I thought it was very unique too, by the way. And yeah, so Darby Allin got the win, and there you go. And the best part about this is there was no Colt Cabana. Jake Hager versus Chico Adams, and Jake Hager wins. Just like that. Jake Hager wins. Basically, it was a squash. After the match, surprisingly, the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley confronts Jake Hager. They start brawling. He has the paradigm shift, Jon Moxley. But then Jake Hager also, and he immediately got Jake Hager immediately got Jon Moxley into the ankle lock. And then when Moxley got out of it, Hager was sent to the, basically he got out because Moxley counter, to get Jake Hager out of the ring in a way. And Moxley standing tall with the belt and everything, and Jake Hager backs off. First of all, I do not like that when he took the paradigm shift by Jon Moxley, Jake Hager just popped right back up after that. I mean, we just seen Sammy Guevara, the way he took that move too to make Jon Moxley's finishing move look sick. I mean, Sammy Guevara didn't have to do that, by the way, but he felt like he had to to put over Jon Moxley's finishing move, and here you are Jake Hager not doing the same thing for Jon Moxley. And I get it, he's an MMA fighter and blah blah blah. Come on. And outside of that, he backed off. An MMA fighter, tough as nails, backed away from Jon Moxley. Not trying to say Jon Moxley is a pushover, but still. It was like saying Lance Archer is backing away from Jon Moxley in New Japan, which he didn't. So I didn't like that. So we go backstage and we see Jon Moxley. He says, basically because of promo, he says to Jake Hager to watch his blind spot, and says that he's out for blood, and Hager may have walked out tonight, but when he when the title is up for grabs, Hager won't walk away. He's getting the card out, and that was it. And I said, Mr. Wait a minute, Jake Hager's gonna get a title shot. Must be the AEW ranking thing. That's probably it. And let's face it too, Jake Hager has been winning matches, so it would make sense too. So alright, let's move on. Oh yeah, okay. Brodie Lee. Yes, I can't wait to get to this one. Something that people have been been bitching about because their coats, their sheeps, they're the defenders. But I'll get to that momentarily. So they show a video package of Brodie Lee revealing himself to be the exalted one of the Dark Order. And basically it has a message to Christopher Daniels saying that Daniels is very unsafe now. And then we get to Brodie Lee in a business suit, along with John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order, also in business suits, while they're having dinner. Except for one thing, John Silver and Alex Reynolds were not eating. Because Brodie Lee was eating, and they're not allowed to eat unless he's done with his food first. So he's eating his steak and about, oh my god, that looked just so good. The steak made me hungry. And he's talking to Alex and John, because they had not been winning matches in a way, which is true. They had not been winning matches since during the Dark Order, and says that he doesn't think that Silver and Reynolds get it, and his strength in numbers, that and they will prey on the weak. So John Silver at this point, he starts getting ready to eat, and Luke Harper. I mean, no, excuse me, not Luke Harper. Brodie Lee. I got, it's been basically the same thing with Dean Ambrose. I gotta get used to saying John Moxley, and I have. So eventually, I'm gonna get I gotta get used to to the name Brodie Lee and erase that stench and that word of Luke Harper, because that's not his name anymore. But anyways, Brodie Lee, I meant to say. So he saw John Silver getting ready to eat. Brodie Lee said, basically he told him to stop. He's like, he's like telling him, you don't eat unless I finish first. Unless I finish eating. And he said, you know what, you're done. I'm done with you. He basically he kicks him out, and I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. I started dying laughing. And I was saying, so what is this about? In my mind, two things in my mind. What is this all about? But at the same time, I knew what this was all about. But I'll get some more of that after I'm done. So then, Alex Reynolds, he sneezed. And I knew right there, Brodie Lee was gonna tell him, you did not just do that. Now he covered. Now he not to give him credit. He did cover his mouth, achoo. But doesn't matter. He still sneezed. I'm pretty sure you all know what that means. What we're saying to someone sneezing, in front of someone that doesn't like that, because it's a sign of weakness. It means you can't control yourself. You can't control your body in a way. So Brodie Lee, what does he do? He tells Alex Reynolds, excuse me, to leave too. He tells him to get out, and I couldn't help but to start laughing too, because again, what was this all about? But at the same time, I knew what this was all about. And now let's get to the part where this gets good. Brodie Lee in a suit, eating steak, which looks good, by the way. While he's got, in a way, he's got his employees. And one of them's getting ready to start eating. But you can't do that, because Brodie Lee says, you don't eat until I finish eating. And then what pertains to Alex Reynolds sneezing. That's a Vince McMahon. What was that? What was it? Where it's a Vince McMahon syndrome, where Vince McMahon hates people when they sneeze in front of him, because they have no control of their bodies. It's a sign of weakness. Now the whole thing with Brodie Lee eating steak, which Vince McMahon does eat steak, and based on what I heard, Brodie Lee told his side of the story, where pertains to Vince McMahon, during his time when he was working with him, when he was Luke Harper, on Jericho's podcast called Talk Is Jericho. Now I understand. It's not because I'm saying to myself, does Vince McMahon really tell people to don't eat until he finished eating first? Because I was thinking myself as I was watching the show, like, no way, there's no way Vince McMahon it's not gonna allow them to eat first, because especially hearing from Jim Cornette from the Jim Cornette Experience podcast, that Jim Cornette he ate food with in front of Vince, and Vince McMahon had no problem with that. So, but the whole thing with the reference of Brodie Lee, where it pertains to eating steak, is that every time when he was Luke Harper, when he goes to a Vince's office, all he does when it tends to trying to give him ideas what tends to what his character should be moving forward, and creatively, is when Brodie Lee as Luke Harper was going into the office of Vince, and this man is always eating a steak or sometimes a salad. A salad. That's basically the reference of that one. But also what pertains to the story as well is that this man, when he's done eating, he'll look over what Brodie Lee's got, Luke Harper in a way, what pertains towards moving forward creatively on the next WWE plot in a way. So, and this man never does, by the way. He never. Sometimes he never does. And he'll sometimes look over it, but then he's just like he'll pass by and all that. And he's like yeah, go whatever, in a way. Anyways, but the sneezing thing, that one was good though. And on top of that, the suit, the business suit. So yeah, I enjoy Brodie Lee taking shots at Vince McMahon, even though he said in the podcast of Talking Jericho, he's like, when it comes to the whole, you're not the first I'll touch old man to not believe in me. He was saying to Jericho that people thought I was taking shots at Vince McMahon. He's like, I could be taking shots at any old man that's out of touch. Sure you were. Oh man, and he was sounding sarcastic because I could tell by the body language or the tone of his voice. He was sounding sarcastic when he said that. If anyone listens to the podcast of Talking Jericho with Brodie Lee on there, know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I love the segment though. This got me dying laughing. I'm like, awesome. And it pertains to the Dark Order, where I think saying to myself, is this really gonna work with Brodie Lee being the exalted one? I had to find out on Talking Jericho with Brodie Lee on there. Brodie Lee talks about how he worked with Stu Grayson and Evil Uno in the past before coming to WWE. And I'm saying to myself, since they know each other, then the Dark Order are in good hands. I mean, I think the Dark Order's gonna be good this time. I can see it now, And they're gonna take Alex Reynolds and John Silver under their wings. So that's good. They help out young talents too, by the way. So that's good. But now we get to the Exalted One, Brodie Lee versus QT Marshall. And the match itself, it was decent. It was all to showcase the Exalted One, and the Exalted One won. And there you go. Nothing else to say about that. Vanguard 1 travels to California, and he sees Nick Jackson working out. And Nick Jackson sees the drone, and Nick Jackson's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Blah blah blah. The drone flies away, and that was it. So apparently, Nick Jackson still looks good. He looks alright, and whenever he's ready to come back, hopefully he'll be back in time with just the Blood and Guts, whenever that's gonna happen, But hey, I'll give AEW this one. Despite the whole coronavirus thing going on, at least they postponed Blood and Guts, unlike WWE, where it pertains to WrestleMania. Kenny Omega, he defends the AAA Mega Championship against the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. As Sammy Guevara came out, he had 3 chairs in the sections. One of them was a picture of, an artwork picture, in a way, of Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Basically who played William Shatner played Captain Kirk. And then you also see Chris Jericho, a picture of him, an artwork picture of him, I meant to say. And then next to Chris Jericho was an artwork sketch or whatever. It's a drawing. Let's just call it that, a drawing of Brandy Rose. Even though Brandy Rose, whatever. But that was creepy. But I'll get to more of that once we get to the into the match, because something happened during the match that really creeped me out. So, okay, I think I should mention this now. We're just to they women, how much for the little girl? They women, how much for the women? Hope anyone gets that reference. If you know what I mean. Just say, everybody needs somebody. Sweet home Chicago. Just saying. Anyways, anyways, as far as the women, Aubrey Edwards, Penelope Ford, and Brandy Rose. Also, I should mention now, Dasha Gonzalez. I should mention this too, by the way. After Kip Sabian's match, Kip Sabian ends up joining at the locker room with Shawn Spears, Dasha Gonzalez, and obviously the Gun Club, which is Billy and Austin. And basically, it's all about betting, winners and everything. Because Shawn Spears is addicted to gambling, and basically they start going to this match, where this was the best match on the show here. Not trying to disrespect the other matches, because the other matches to me, it was like decent, whatever, and it's passable. But this match between the best bout machine, and the Spanish God for the AAA Mega Championship title was incredible. Also during the match of this, Sammy Guevara was doing so well in the match, he goes into the crowd to get the Brandy Rose drawing, and he starts making out with it. And Brandy Rose had a face of her being so disgusted and creeped out. And I was right there with Brandy Rose. Like, come on. I don't know. But during this match too as well, Shawn Spears apparently attacked Billy Gunn and ran away with the money, I guess. I guess he was, but the match wasn't over yet though. And they were on a hunt to go. The Gun Club was on a hunt to go after Shawn Spears. I don't know if they got him, but they never got word if they got him. But they ended up coming back to the locker room. Not Shawn Spears, the Gun Club, and Kip Sabian was still there. I can't remember who else was there too, but basically Dasha Gonzalez and Austin Gunn were so pumped for this match, and they were loving this match that they were going crazy, shouting, "Come on, go, make it!" Hey, I loved it, man. I thought it was great. Despite we couldn't have that energy at ringside, at least we got the energy that we got backstage, that. So I'm glad AEW did that. So whoever did that did a great job with that one. Hopefully we can try to get back to the crowd, for the rosters to go and into the sections. But if they still can't do it, they should continue to do that then. The whole backstage thing, to show who's watching. And while I do like a split screen, sometimes. But hold on, that's just me. But anyways, in the end, it was Kenny Omega winning the match, which means Sammy Guevara once again loses. But yeah, great match though. Great match. Alright, now we get to the confrontation, the face-to-face between Chris Jericho and Broken Matt Hardy. But before we did, Chris Jericho came out, his music plays, and Chris Jericho grabs the camera from the cameraman, and this cameraman starts singing Judas. I become man. Judas in my mind. I become man. I become man. Judas in my mind. You know, I need a little that sound effect of the ding, ding. Anyways, so Chris Jericho came out. And by the way, I thought that part with the cameraman singing, that was entertaining. Chris Jericho came out. You know, he calling out Broken Matt Hardy, but instead of Broken Matt Hardy, we see Vanguard 1 showing up. Vanguard 1 shows up. Chris Jericho, you know, is talking a lot of trash to Vanguard 1, saying you're a piece of shit and everything, and then all of a sudden Jericho flips it and starts saying, "You want to join the Inner Circle?" But you just insulted the drone, and now you're inviting the drone to join the Inner Circle. But the drone didn't listen. The drone flew away. And Jericho said, "Hey, where you going? You come back here, you son of a bitch," and everything. Also, Matt Hardy's music plays. Matt Hardy ends up being in the Raptors. But then all of a sudden, Matt Hardy starts moving from different location. He was teleporting. He used instant transmission for Dragon Ball Z. He learned that from Goku. He didn't say that, but I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, and he ends up being in the ring. And Jericho's like, how'd you do that? And how'd you get... And then Matt Hardy's like, "Yo, it's magic, yes." I'm not if you say it like that. Oh yeah, "I am magic, yes." So Jericho basically is trying to get Broken Matt Hardy to think, have second thoughts and reconsider to join the Inner Circle instead of joining the Elite, or pertains to Blood and Guts. But then Broken Matt Hardy said that he witnessed the Inner Circle that they have been doing in AEW, and says that AEW is freedom, and the Inner Circle cannot ruin this paradise. I think Matt Hardy says in a way that he's not a member of the Elite because he's his own man, but I'm trying to remember if that's how he said it. But Matt Hardy is there also pertains to taking care of the Inner Circle. He wants to delete the Inner Circle. Delete. And then while he's doing that, Jericho's like, "Why are you doing that? There's no crowds here anyways." And like, what are you talking about? Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And like, oh my god. And then Matt Hardy says, "Look, it's Abraham Lincoln. And then there's Martin Luther King Jr." Like, what? Yeah, oh my god, that was hilarious. I guess they're ghosts are the crowds. Yeah, Michael Jackson, Prince singing together, by the way. Whitney Houston, Selena, Aaliyah. Who else got there? Oh yeah, Cobain. George Washington. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, George Bush, the original George, the father, George Bush Senior, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy. Who else can I say? Oh, Mr. Perfect, Eddie Guerrero, someone's band. I'm not gonna mention his name. Rick Rude, Brian Pillman, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Malcolm X. By any means necessary. Yeah, I get the picture. Oh, Muhammad Ali, Elvis Presley, Donna Summers, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Okay, I'll stop. I'm gonna stop now. Aretha Franklin. Okay, for real, I'm gonna stop now. That's basically what Matt Hardy was saying. Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr. He's speaking of the dead and everything. So there you go. So anyways, Jericho's saying you're crazy and everything in a way. And then Matt Hardy talking about, your song Judas, where people are singing along that song. Well, I got another song that to sing along, and it's Jafari's song. He didn't say Jafari's song, but he said, obsolete. Basically, I'll fade away and classify myself as obsolete. But in a way, to Chris Jericho basically saying to Jericho that you'll fade away and classify yourself as obsolete. And also, Jericho takes his glasses off and talks about he's got a match. He's basically he basically want to challenge Matt Hardy right here right now. Broken Matt Hardy. He slaps Broken Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy punches him. Basically punches him down with one punch. And Jericho says he's got a match with himself too. And also Guevara comes out. Matt Jackson comes from behind. Also, Jake Hager. Didn't Jake Hager come out too? I can't remember. I could swear Jake Hager always came out. Because look at it, it just says Guevara and Jericho. But anyways, but Matt Jackson came out. Kenny Omega and Cody came in. So basically, Cody came off commentary, and they chased away the inner circle, and Broken Matt Hardy was in control. He was controlling fire, pyros that went off. And by the way, there was no pyros, by the way, until Broken Matt Hardy, for the end of the show, started using his magic for pyros to go off, and basically it was flames, and that was it. That was the show. Very good show. Again, right, not right out of the park. Without no crowds, an empty arena, and they did, and the way they did it on the show here, I thought they did a great job. So, there you go. Now I'm trying to see how many matches were there before. Okay, there was that match, this match, that match, that match, and that match. So I guess it was 5 matches. Yeah, 5 matches. Those were Tomar Wrestling for AEW Dynamite from March 25th, 2020 for this All Elite Wrestling review. Overall rating for the show, 9 out of 10. Another great show. They're really embarrassing WWE represents to their empty arena shows, especially represents NXT, which I'll get to that when I do that review. There was actually some wrestling on the show, and there was actually something to talk about on the show this time. But that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. For this was your All Elite Wrestling review, where it tends to give you AEW Dynamite results from March 25th, 2020. Until next time, we change to this All Elite Wrestling review, folks. You all stay well, stay safe, stay protected where it pertains to this whole coronavirus situation. Stay in peace. I'm out. You all take care. Ta-ta for now.